You mentioned it. What kind of theme were you going with that office redecoration?
Yeah, that was. I tell you what, that was impressive work. I mean, they snuck in there and aluminum foiled everything from pencils to remotes to balls and picture frames. Nothing was safe. So we've got I've still about a couple hours of unwrapping to do to get all this aluminum foil out. And then, of course, they got the assistants today. There's 2,000 balloons in their office today. So that took some impressive work. So it was pretty cool though.
How fun is this part of the year? I mean, you need something like that, especially winding down. Obviously this weekend's going to be emotional for a handful of the kids to be able to let loose and have fun like that, especially with the series that's coming up.
Yeah, that's what it's about. At this point in the season, you put the work in. We put the hay in the barn, and it's one of those now. Like, hey, let's go have some fun. Let's keep it loose, go have some fun. And I think our squad, our ball club's done a really good job of setting themselves up for postseason. So that's what kind of told them yesterday. It's like, hey, let's relax, let's go play ball, let's go get them.
What does that show about the culture that you've built in these short couple of years, that you have them playing loose and having fun, not only in and out of the ball field?
Yeah, well, we said it from day one. I mean, it was going to be about the building culture first, and so the wins will start to take care of themselves, and I think we've definitely seen that in the last 2 years of just winning ball games and being in these tight ball games and learning to play the game. But hats off to our ball club for really buying into everything, and our coaching staff too. Oh my gosh, they've done such a phenomenal job with the day in and day outs of that, because culture doesn't stop, right? It is a daily grind to build that foundation, and I'm really proud of our ball club and our coaching staff.
Talk about the seniors and the importance of them to this program and how they've helped set you guys up for the future.
Yeah, gosh, what a great group of kids. I mean, we've got 10 seniors, and they're going to be dearly missed. And what they've done, in their careers here has been nothing short of amazing. And in the last 2 years, especially, and then this year to see some of our seniors going out with career numbers and career highs is really impressive. But again, my biggest goal for that class is to be able to look back and go, we were a part of that. We were a piece of that. We were a part of growing the program and where it is now. And so, I always want them to remember that when they're moving on in life, to look back and go, I had a hand in that success.
Talk about the challenges of facing your second number one team or number one ranked team in a year, and what does that say about the strength of the Big 12 as a softball?
Yeah, I mean, here we go again. It's just another number one team, and and again, it's not necessarily the best team that wins the ball game. It's the team that plays the best. And you know what? If we come out and we play loose and we have a good time, and we kind of execute the game plans that we have in place, hey, we have a shot in the end. And so that's all we can do. But it's huge for the Big 12, right? I mean, the Big 12, I still say to this day, is the hardest softball conference out there right now. And so I think it's going to be the day in and day out grind, whether that's the number one team, the number two team, the number 5 team. I mean, it's just always going to be a grind, and playing loose is going to be huge for us.
They're two different squads, obviously, but what can you learn from the series against Oklahoma and having to deal with the number one team then that you can kind of put into play this weekend?
Yeah, well, I think it's, I think when we did it was early on in our kind of Big 12 season, so I think the dust has settled a little bit more for us now, so I think we'll see a little bit different ball club, than we saw against Oklahoma, because, and what we're getting used to, too, is playing in front of big crowds, and so that for us, that was probably the biggest crowd we played in front of that year, and so there's a little nerves that go with that, and, this weekend's going to be no different. We've got 3 sold-out games, and it'll be another great crowd, another great opportunity for us.
And you mentioned the post-season angle there. I can't remember if it was D1 softball or Softball America, but they had you projected as a 3 seed. I know you guys still do the work and get there and everything, but to have that on paper for the girls to see and for you guys to see as well. I mean, what did that mean to see that and know that you're that close to realizing that?
Well, I think it goes with our theme all year, right? That we belong. We've been saying that to them. We've been talking about it all year, and for them to see, people are saying the same thing now is huge. And so, because I do think this ball club belongs. I think we belong in postseason, and I'm excited to see that. And a Selection Sunday is going to be a fun one for us.
Who have you seen shown the greatest growth this year? And some of the talk about some of the younger players who you see that little glimpse of the potential for the future for Red Bear softball.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talk about the career numbers, right? I mean, look at Riley Love this year. She has had a phenomenal year. And I'm so proud of her the way she gets to end her career doing what she's done. Abby Orrick, same thing. Been great at the plate, done a great job at shortstop. Candy Kreitz, crushing the ball right now, right? And so she's done another job. I mean, also Ariana Villa right now. I mean, those four have really done a great job in that senior class, and the growth has been really there. And we got some young ones that have really kind of shown some glimmers too. I mean, we got the Logan Howmans and the Reagan Jennings, and they're jumping in and doing some great things right now. And we've got a few others too that you see it every day in practice, and it's unfortunately. Everybody in front of them stepped up this year and done a phenomenal job, so they haven't maybe had their opportunity yet, but it's coming for them.
What does that mean for you as a coach, the excitement to see not only the potential that you saw when you came here of what this team could be?
Yeah, well, I think it was awesome. I mean, because we saw what was capable of, and it was going to take time, right? It's going to take time to build that culture, but also take time to learn our philosophies and learn our things. And again, the hats off goes to our coaching staff, because they're the ones day in and day out in the cages, in the bullpens, and developing, and that's huge. That is huge. And what I've really appreciated about that is that we're all speaking the same language, right? And that I think is a big feather in our hat as a coaching staff to do that, because that trickles down to our ball club as well.
Hey, Coach, looking at Texas, they have 4 pitchers with an ERA under 2. What other bullpen really stands out to you, and how do you overcome that?
Yeah, they're good arms, and what's impressive about Texas is all their arms do something different, and so you have to have a really good plan for each one of them as they come in, right? And so that's what we've been training all week, getting ready for each pitcher, and who's on and who's off that day, and you never know who's good, what's going to happen. But I mean, it's a big compliment to them. They've got some really great arms, and they all do something different.
Ask coaches all year long about the potential of continuing a series against a team like Texas or Oklahoma. Is that something that you would look into? Maybe not. You want a little bit easier non-con schedule, but is that something that potentially down the road you could see happening?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think anytime we can play great competition, it's only going to help us. And so, no, definitely, I think in the future we'll definitely have OU or Texas on our schedule. Whether that be in the fall, spring, or early preseason. But I want to challenge our ball club early on, and so that's definitely a team that we could do that with.
Has the atmosphere this week been any different, or is it the same approach as any other team, or is their mindset kind of like, okay, this is UT, let's go?
No, they're ready. They're excited. I mean, the atmosphere has been pretty loose and fun, as you guys can tell as you walked in with balloons and aluminum foil everywhere. So it's been a lot of fun, but it has been when it was time to be focused, they're focused and ready to go. So it's been a good. The ball club seems to be in a good spot.
Assistant coaches have been pranked. Head coach has been pranked. Have you considered payback?
We have signed a declaration of war and put it in the locker room. That's all I can comment on that right now.